have sent, and it has been received, 20 pallets of frozen protein for the pantries to use and to distribute, and the pantries are very happy to have received it. So, as I always like to say, they have provided the main dish. Now it's up to us to provide all of the sides. And as we know, the more heavy the items that we purchase are, the more nutritionally dense they are, and the more needed they probably are. So do your best, if you're able, to fill those bags. And if the idea of doing extra grocery shopping and schlepping just seems really unappealing and food pantries can really maximize their spending dollars through their corporate relationships that they have. And as we know, Costco provides all kinds of amazing things like health care to their employees, a commitment to serving a $1.50 hot dog and a drink for so long as Costco should ever exist, and double time pay on Sundays, reflecting the religious values of both the Jewish founders and the Christian founders of that amazing institution. Price Club and Costco merged together in perfect harmony. So, you can also, if you want, do a donation to the synagogue. We've set it up so that you can just do a donation to the synagogue and we will purchase your gift cards for you. There's a special new donation line. So we've made it as easy as possible, and we hope that you'll be able to participate in this year's food drive. All the information that you need is available at teesd.org. And with that, we turn now to the sanctity and the holiness of Shabbat. For the few, the proud, the mighty, who are feeding themselves the manna and the joy of Jewish living out loud, as we take care of our souls and give ourselves the blessing of this day of rest. And so to light our Shabbat candles, Steve, would you like to come up? And have you ever come up to light our candles? I don't think so. Our candle lighting is on pages 2 and 3. So you want to pick it up by the silver? Sure. Yep. Oh. Yep, just hold it by the silver. That's all you need. Okay. Yep. Go ahead and light them. There we go. And we bring the light of Shabbat to us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. On page 3 we read, as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Thank you, Steve. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And on page 5, do I have a volunteer who will pass out our kiddush, our kiddush cups? And while they're coming around, we're going to sing my favorite Shabbat song from camp. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, vehine tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, vehine tov me'od. There was evening, there was morning. There was evening, there was morning, there was evening, there was morning. Vayhi erev, vayhi erev, vayhi voker, tov me'od. Vayhi erev, vayhi voker, tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, vehine tov me'od. The words aren't in the book, I'm sorry. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, vehine tov me'od. There was evening. There was evening. There was morning. There was evening. There was morning. Vayhi erev, vayhi voker, tov me'od. Vayhi erev, vayhi voker, tov me'od. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila kodesh, zecher letziyad mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu ki edashta mikol hamim, ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. So ever refreshing. And we'll go forward to page 12. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, lekadma penav b'todah. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. 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 The bottom of page 13, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Umelo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Page 14 at the bottom. Or zarua latzadik, Uyishrei lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik. Uyishrei lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik. Uyishrei lev simcha. Uyishrei lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik. Uyishrei lev simcha. Uyishrei lev simcha. Ya la la la, ya la la, ya la, ya la, ya la la, 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 ya la, ya la, 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 la. Who's feeling warmed up for Shabbat? It's like a good old-fashioned Camp Swig song session. For those of you who ever had to leave the Chadar Ochel because it was so much singing, and you went out and you got a breath of air, and then you went back in for more. So page 17. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Page 19. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo. Vashalom, vashalom. Adonai yivarech. Adonai yivarech et amo. Vashalom, vashalom. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech vashalom. We have prepared ourselves. So now hopefully we are really ready to welcome the Sabbath bride. She comes in many shapes and sizes, many different varietals. But on page 20, whatever Shabbat looks like in your mind, however she is a bride in your heart, let's welcome her with some willful, intentional enthusiasm as we make Shabbat a priority. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla shamor vezachor bedibur echad Emanu-El hamiuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad L'shem ultiferet velitchila Lecha dodi kala likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habaracha merosh mikedem nesucha סוף מעשה במחשבת תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה verse 5 התעוררי כי ואורק ומיורי Uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabla. We're going to pick a new Lechado D tune because this is a beautiful old custom. Does anyone have a favorite they'd like to sing? Lechado D likrat kala yalalai B'nei Shabbat nekavela Dodi likrat kala yalalai B'nei Shabbat nekavelai verse 8 Yaminu smol tifrotzi ve'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yadish ben parzi ונסמכה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה יללי פני שבת נקבלה אלי לך דודי לקראת כלה יללי פני שבת nekabelai boi veshalom ateret bahala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei segula bochala Boi chala Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai B'nei Shabbat nekabelai elai Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai B'nei Shabbat nekabelai. We've welcomed Shabbat. Let's welcome each other. Everyone turn and say hello. Greet your neighbors. Say hi to people you know. Say hi to people you don't. Make new friends. Greet the old. One is silver and the other is gold. Hello, everyone who's watching us at home. Lie, page 28, lie, and be seated. We continue on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishane itim umachalif et hazmanim umesader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umevi layla Umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv, Aravim. Page 32. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha, Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu Uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach bedivrei toratecha uvmitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla negeh Yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinanta am levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha abavetecha uvlechtecha avaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema antiskeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai Vihitem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Emet. Let's go to page 40. At the bottom of page 41, as a meditation before we go into our Michamocha, let's read this quote from Milton Steinberg. Salvation is the Jews' victory over human limitations, ignorance, or insensitivity. It is the conquest of sinfulness. of the evils resident within the self, pride, selfishness, hate, lust, cynicism, the deliberate rejection of goodness, and truth. As we think about what it means to liberate ourselves, to be able to sing a Michamocha prayer in this Shabbat Shuvah, this Shabbat during our Yamim Noraim, during our days of awe, I always like to say, never in all my years have I ever heard about a rabbi who was able to go in any community into their storehouses and pull out the machzorim, the high holiday prayer books, and get out ye old eraser and erase one of the sins, because we had overcome it as a species, as a people, as a humanity. Rabbi Lawson, have you heard of this before? No. Anyone heard of it before? No, the rabbis did a pretty good job of writing down all of the human sins and having us take collective responsibility for all of them. And never in all my days have I heard of us getting to erase them. That is, on the one hand, incredibly depressing. And it is, on the other hand, somewhat comforting, because it's an acknowledgement that in different ages, the sins change, but there is always going to be some kind of transgression. And sometimes we spend a lot of time addressing and fixing some, and then others start to creep back up. There is never a time when this work ceases to be relevant, and when we are not trying to squeeze our way past a narrow place of sinfulness. And despite what many a parent may have whispered to a child, we are not perfect. And despite what many a parent may have whispered to a child, we are also never beyond redemption. Maybe shouted loudly, maybe wrote on the walls in permanent marker. And that's the beauty of Shabbat Shuvah. That's the beauty of our high holiday season. None of us is beyond redemption, and none of us is ever perfect. The only thing that God asks of us is to recognize where we are and to strive to do better. And that's a beautiful thing. And so every year we just do a little bit more turning, a little bit more turning, and a little bit more turning. Because I like to liken the work that we do at this season and ideally year round as hiking a mountain. We think that the sin that we need to overcome, we just have to get up the mountain to that ledge. And we get up the mountain to that ledge and we've done it. We've achieved something truly excellent. We've overcome a lot. We've strengthened ourselves. But once we catch our breath, we stand up and we roll our shoulders back. We're so proud of ourselves. And then we realize, standing on that ledge, well, now we can see all new things that we couldn't see before when our goal was where we're standing now. There's a whole other mountain and a whole new landscape, and we have all new work to do in front of us, work that we couldn't even conceive of before. And so we have to pick another pathway, pick another ledge, pick our next goal, and start the climb again. That's the work of Shuvah. But the good part is you get really good muscles while you're doing it. And we grow stronger, and we come to learn what we are capable of. And this is what we celebrate with our Michamocha prayer, because God is the one who teaches us that we will be passing through a narrow place, but coming into something exceptional. Always better, always stronger. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, no ra tehilot oseh בוקע לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב גאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. On page 42. This high holiday season is marred with the awareness that today we're at 721 days waiting for the dozens of hostages who are still alive and whose bodies are still being held to be returned home. For so many, this is the second horrific high holiday season without their loved ones. So we force ourselves to celebrate, but we know that we are still stuck on October 7th and will continue to be so until our family is returned home. And so we ask God for God's sheltering peace to be over all of us, over all our people, over all those who were taken, and all those waiting to be returned. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shelomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shelomecha. Yambai bai bum, yambai bai bum, yambai bye 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 bye, yambai bye bum, yambai bye bum, yambai bye 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 bum. We'll continue now with our Amidah, page 46. We'll invite everyone to rise. This is the one time of year, everyone. The one time of year when we get to say our Shabbat Shuvah insertions. It's very, very special, so pay attention for them. We'll say our first few benedictions out loud, and then we'll go into our silent prayer. It'll be through page 62, and you can have a seat when you're finished. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Lifnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Zochreinu lechayim, melech hafetz b'chayim, v'chotreinu b'sefer hachayim, lema'ancha Elohim chayim. Melech ozer Moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah rav lehoshia, Morid hatal. Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot. Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzniach Yeshua, Michamocha Avarachamim, Zocher Yitzurav L'chaim Berachamim, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 358. Achad shalti me'et Adonai ota avakei את שאלתי מאת אדוני, אותה אבקש. שבתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם אדוני, לבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו. In this week's Torah portion, which comes fittingly on Shabbat Shuvah, we read in Vayechi of a people who are preparing to accept the destiny that has been placed on their shoulders, like a yoke has been placed on an ox and then told to plow a very large field. The ox did not ask to be a beast of burden. It did not ask to be strong. And it did not ask to have to do the labor that it is having to do. It is its destiny. The Israelites did not ask to be enslaved. They did not ask to be set free. Well, they probably did ask to be set free. That's what we hear about in Torah. But they didn't ask to be set free into a particular covenant. And they had no way of knowing when they said yes to the covenant what it would entail for generations of them, their children. And it is a beautiful covenant, but I think we can all agree it has come with a bit of a price tag. It is not easy to be a Jew in this world. It was not easy to be an Israelite, and it wasn't easy to be Abraham and Sarah, or Isaac and Rebekah, or Jacob, and it certainly was not easy to be Leah, and it was not easy to be Rachel. It was definitely not easy to be their kids. It was not easy. And yet, for some reason, we as Jews are obsessed, I would say, with transmitting this difficult heritage down to the next generation. And oftentimes when I'm sitting with bar and bat mitzvah students in my office and we're studying Torah, and I see a little bit of despair in their eyes as they're contemplating, why am I doing this hard stuff when I could be doing easy stuff? I go to the wisdom of YouTube and I pull up a video clip of what I consider to be one of the greater pieces of Torah in the world. Penny Marshall's movie, A League of Their Own. For those of you who haven't seen it, I will share with you. Gina Davis plays a great baseball player. It is World War II. The men are off fighting Hitler and the Japanese emperor. And so a number of American businessmen who are losing money on ticket sales create the All-American Girls Baseball League. And this is all real. This actually happened. Some of you may have gone to the games. I won't make eye contact so that I don't age anyone. They created the All-American Girls Baseball League, and they played during World War II. Gina Davis plays one of the great players of the league. Tom Hanks plays a washed-up baseball player with an addiction alcohol problem who finds new purpose, new life, and sobriety as a coach for the people that he wrote off and then realized are actually good ball players. And just as he is getting his life together, Dottie, that's Gina's character, Dottie's husband comes back injured from the war, and she is ready to leave the league and go home with her husband to be a dairy farmer in Oregon. And he goes to her as she's at the car loading all of her luggage in, and he admonishes her for sneaking out and quitting the game. And he tells her that he gave up so much of his life to drinking, and there isn't anything he wouldn't give back to just have one day of being able to play baseball back. she looks at him and says, "It just got too hard." And he responds to her, "Of course it's hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great." That is what I show our students. Of course it's hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great. We don't tell amazing stories that happen to us in our lives because we had an average day. We tell great stories that happen to us in our lives because we overcame exceptional adversity. We tell epic tales because we overcame really hard things, because we struggled against incredibly difficult odds. We wrestled against the forces of nature, of gods, of terrible people, of impossible circumstances. And we faced them and we overcame them and we triumphed and we stand glorious on the field of triumph. And we tell our tales of victory. And it's what makes a good story, is because things were really difficult and we did them anyway. And this, my friends, is what I believe is at the heart of what it is to be a Jew. Swap out that whole movie, take out the baseball, put in Jewish history and Jewish life, and we have the exact same story. We are not a religion and a covenant that was meant for everyone. It is not easy to be a Jew. It is not easy to carry this burden, but this burden is beautiful. It is a yoke that is not meant for everyone. But we know from having worn it that it is precious, that it gives us strength, that it has unimaginable beauty in it and meaning. There have been poignant moments in my life where I had a profound awareness of how grateful I was to be Jewish. And it's not because I think that we are better than other people. This is not about Jewish supremacy. It's just that I am deeply, deeply grateful for Jewish practice, Jewish culture, Jewish life, and Jewish religion. I could give the list chronologically or alphabetically, but no one wants to listen to that. And if you do, make an appointment and we'll have coffee and we'll talk. In this week's Torah portion, as we are being prepared to accept this burden of our destiny and conquer the Holy Land, to have this yoke placed upon our neck, 3 times in this Torah portion we see a phrase that becomes central to the identity of our people and is still said in the Israeli Defense Force today as one of the central charges to our young soldiers. It's 2 words. Anyone know them? It's a command. Joshua is told by Moses and God, and the people are told by Moses and God, Chazak ve'ematz. Chazak ve'ematz. Be strong and resolute. Because the pathway in front of you is not an easy one. It will be filled with incredible challenges. It will be filled with incredible difficulty. But through it, you will find strength. You will climb to the top of a mountain. You will think you have finished your ascent. You've done your Shuvah, and then you will see that you're only at base camp and you have a whole other mountain to climb. You will wrestle and you will struggle and you will turn yourself inside out to become better people. And you will realize you have so much farther to go. After just having celebrated how far you have come. It is not easy to be a Jew. But the hard is what makes it great. And so as we are entered now into this year 5786, I say to us what this week's Torah portion says to us. Chazak ve'amatz. We must be strong and resolute. And let us remember the difficulties faced by our ancestors. It was not a sign that God had abandoned them, that God did not love them, and that God was not standing right in their midst. Unfortunately, in Jewish theology, we don't even have immediate rescue from harm by God as a guarantee when we are righteous and when we do the right things. It's just not that easy. It's not that simple, and it's not that clean. God, knowing this, tells us chazak v'amatz, and reminds us, and even in your difficulties, even in your loneliness, even in your struggles, I am always with you. So let us be strengthened by each other. Let us be strengthened with each other. And in this year 5786, as we do the work that we need to do on this Shabbat Shuvah, may we hear the call of this week's Torah portion and accept the charge placed on our hearts to know that the heart is what makes it great, and to be chazak ve'ematz. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. 358. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. Shivti mevet Adonai kol yamei chayai lahazot benoam Adonai ulvaker bechalo lahazot benoam Adonai ulvaker bechalo. Page 282, and if you're able to, please rise. The bottom of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'teit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא Can be seated. Because of Rosh Hashanah, Shiva and Shloshim are formally ended. Has anyone lost any loved ones since Rosh Hashanah? I do want to acknowledge, because there truly has not been a moment to acknowledge it, that Michael Cowan and Roberta Cowan have entered into Shana Rishonah, the first year of mourning for Michael's brother, Stephen, who passed away just before Rosh Hashanah. And it is always difficult to have our time of mourning cut short because of the Chagim. And so I'll ask Michael and Roberta to rise first so that we can acknowledge you in your time of loss. even with the strangeness of this ending of the period because of the Chagim. And now we'll invite everyone else who is in Shana Rishonah, the first year of mourning, to rise and share your loved ones' names as well. And on this Shabbat, we mark the yard sites for Shirley Hatena, Ella Schleiman Nathan, Selma Sablov, Alex Vertz, Mina Decker, Tilly Feynman, Jacob Firestone, Gertrude Osterbach, Rosalie Stewart Udovich, Lillian Fitzgerald, Arnold Kravitz, Michael Portner, Rita Waddell, Larry Silks, Amy Artman, Elsa Barrand, George Emont, Alex Gwastoff, Nathan Schulman, Mathis Snyder, David Tauber, Lillian Press, Mark Pollock, Shirley Boardman, Estelle Goldie, Sidel Greenman, Saul Iglo, David Kolender, Shirley Corfin, Harold Lehrer, Ruth Schreiber, William Seiden, Frank Selwyn, Rose Weitzman, Evelyn Blum, Ronald Glazer, Yetta Niss, Riva Giddel Friedman, Rita Giddel Friedman, Edward Rosenblum, Diana Sahlberg, Florence Ackerman, Ellie C. Eisenberg, Shirley Michelle, Sherman Minsky. If there are any names to be added or names to be corrected, please share them with us.
As a member of the Pacific Southwest Airlines PSA community, yesterday we celebrated the 47th anniversary of the mid-air collision over North Park. Every year didn't get any easier.
Thank you, Steve, for reminding us. 47 years since the PSA mid-air collision. If it is your custom to rise with the mourners, we invite you to do so. Our Kadisha tome is found on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divarach yirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chai echon uv'yom echon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'isman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudeshah brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yishvei tevel, v'imru amen. Hamakom yinachem ethem b'toch sha'ar avlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God console all who are bereaved amongst our people, our homeland, and throughout our world. And together we say, Zichronam livracha, may the memories of the ones that we have loved and lost continue to be a source of blessing and inspiration for us all. As we conclude our service, we'll go out on a note of challah. because we challah for challah. So if I can get some volunteers to help hand out the challah, that would be helpful for us. Tonight I have the western wall. I have the kotel. Jude, I'm sure that Stan would hand over his basket and happily let you take the basket. Stan, I think Jude may want to be a super helper.
That's commitment.
Look at Stan making peace in the world and happiness in a child's heart. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some pass out a basket of challah. I have. They gave me some already. All right, does everyone have challah? We have our challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Rabbi Lawson, when are you leaving us? Nasiya Tova. Make sure everyone knows I didn't kick him off the bima.